Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of EVE Echoes. Tonight on the show, we're going to take a look at the latest developers weekly Q&A. And of course, we're going to take a look at the Trello, which basically hosts the developers timeline for EVE Echoes for 2021. It's been updated recently. Now, one important thing that I'd like to mention is that I'm really excited about some of the stuff that we're about to showcase here. While for some of them, I don't know how to say, but I'm not exactly disappointed, but I expected something more. But we'll get there when we get there, because there's a lot to talk about. So let's start with the developers weekly Q&A. Which stands for the week 13 to 19 of January. Will you add a custom hauling delivery order option so people can order this stuff hauled anywhere from anywhere? We plan on improving logistics in general, including enabling players to deliver items to any location. Additional details will be shared later. Now, this has something to tie into what we already discussed in some of our previous videos, with developers actually taking into consideration the delivery system on how to maybe redesign it or improve it, because we know it's currently it sucks a bit because of all the spam, and it's a bit limited. It should do the job. Unfortunately, there's too much spam, and it's really very hard to do any deliveries, and it really needs a magical touch there. When will freighters and jump freighters be introduced to assist in large material transactions and shipping? Freighters will be added in the game sometime in the second half of the year, and the largest capacity for these types of ships will be around 1 million cubic meters. And yes, they will be introducing capital ships, and the freighters are basically capital ships. Now we're going to take a deep dive look on the Trello timeline in just a little bit. For now, let's finish up these questions. So freighters are going to arrive. Now, I don't know if this is going to be beneficial or not. It will be beneficial for hauling businesses or for transporting stuff, but there's an intricate problem with the capital ships, and we'll expand more in a jiffy. Will there be an Alliance Bank incorporated at some point in time? This will be very helpful to Alliance structure. We're currently focusing on adding additional sovereignty mechanics. After that, we may consider the idea of an Alliance Bank. So, yeah, the mostly focused on sovereignty items, you know, that timeline for sovereignty and all the items and modules that will be created to support the outposts and the citadels and all the sovereignty structures. So I'm guessing this is the plan, to finish this and then pick up something else. Are there plans for wormholes to be released? We do have plans for wormholes, though our focus is firstly on development of the entire tech tree. More details to come at a later date. What they're trying to say is they're trying to basically develop the entire tech tree and then focus on expanding more stuff. And most of these questions actually have some valid points, but if you look at the responses from the developers, they actually tie into a very grounded problem that they are facing, in my opinion. So they're trying to finish some mechanics like the tech tree and the sovereignty and some parts that the players don't actually need, but they actually do need. So it's a very, very, very thin line, a very thin thread that we're going to follow and basically help you understand why has it come to this point. So right now we're looking at the EVE Echoes 2021 timeline that the design and development teams are basically working on. So it's on Trello.com, and you can actually search it on Google. It's made public. So, we've got the February 2021, we've got some Gala, and we've got the insurance system, the long-awaited insurance system that will be replacing the old ship recovery system from the customer support. Then in March, we have new Tech 10 ships, insurance version 2. I'm guessing they'll be working, it will be released in several stages. Now, they'll probably do one side of the module, and then they'll finish it up in March. We also have something about compressor. Now, all of these story items don't have an actual description, so just like title-based. As you can see, if we click on this, there's no actual description and there's no indication what it actually means. But I'm guessing this is going to provide people the means to compress their own ore as opposed to just finding it in space in the compressed ores. We've done a showcase. We've explained how the system works. It was an elaborate hidden mechanic which was hidden inside the game by the developers. And of course, we've got also the interstellar delivery. Now, this is the part that the developers actually mentioned in one of our previous slides right there, when somebody asked if there will be more additions or more improvements done to the delivery system. This is the interstellar delivery that players have been complaining, and I've been complaining about. It was good, but it's now gone a bit rotten. There's too much spam. It's very hard to pick up decent contracts. Very hard to do deliveries, basically because the delivery is not comprised of a single delivery. It gets split into several containers, and so many players can pick up so many individual pieces. In my opinion, I don't know, it should have been like one big container. You want this hauled, it's going to be one big container, somebody should haul it for you. But again, given the fact that the haulers have limited space, if somebody would order ships or whatever, it might be problematic. Like the scam with the extra large containers. So freighters are going to help fix this. Going into April, we see the capital ships, the freighters, and this is the first variant of the capital ships that will be introduced. Later on, we will see other capital ships. On April, we should have an improvement to the encounter system. Now, so far, the encounter system seems pretty well. The only problem is how the NPCs were handled, but maybe there's something more that the developers wish to give us. We don't know yet. Maybe we'll find some more details at a later date, and I'll happily showcase them to you if that information becomes public. Until then, well, I'm under NDA, so I can't divulge anything, but just for your knowledge, I am not aware of any of the upcoming stuff. I'm also in the dark. I have no information currently. As soon as something gets public, I'll post it as a video for you guys to listen to or to watch and enjoy and whatever. Also happy to spark any debates. We're going into May. We've got a balance update. I'm guessing this will be a major rebalancing of all the items, modules, ships. I was hopeful of it being done in several steps. Why? Because there's a lot to do. The balance update should be systematic in several steps. And should comprise several months of analyzing, doing one step at a time, analyzing what are the results. Is it good? Is it bad? Maybe we need to redesign, rethink it yet again. The balance process is a very hard thing to do, and you can look at, for example, at EVE Online. The balance there has been ongoing for 17 years, and it's still going, so it's a constant battle. I don't really understand how it's going to be done in just 1 month, but I guess we'll see when we get there. Also in May 2021, we get scanning and exploration. We've got the industry decoder. Also scanner exploration rig upgrade. I'm guessing the industry decoder is going to be one of the analyzers, and for the rig upgrades is going to be the other analyzer. Corporation structures, so this is going to be a part of the sovereignty updates, I'm guessing, but all the way in May. Corporation structures, I'm thinking these are going to be the modules that you will be able to put around the corporation outposts or corporation citadels, with which you will be able to affect system bonuses, system mechanics like spawning death space encounters faster, spawning something else faster, increasing the bounty, the NPC bounty, the anomalies, I don't know, stuff like that. We also get holographic reconstruction. So I don't know what this is, but I have two viable options. One, it's either the ghost fitting, and you can do fittings without having the ship, just to toy around with stuff. That would be great. Or it's the jump clone technology, and you get reconstructed at a different place, meaning we'll be able to see a med base across stations in New Eden, so we'll be able to install jump clones. I don't know, so it's one of these. I don't know which one, but I would fairly guess this is for the ghost fitting, which will allow you to fit ships without having them, just to toy around with various modules, various rigs, just so you don't have to buy them, just so you don't have to do whatever stuff. Moving over to June, we got now the event, Carnival. Now, these events, we also seen one event in February. I really hope these will be lore-based events. If not, it's just going to be another skin fest, probably. And we've got a Dead Space update. Dead Space, probably this is the time they will be introducing the B-type modules. You know, they've been teasing those in the announcements, and we'll probably have the B-type modules. We'll get blueprints for B-type modules. But we'll have to decompose or deconstruct or, I don't know, reprocess C-type modules to get some specific components that will be used to make better B-type modules. This is how they plan to eliminate stuff from the market that is already being all over the place. You know, C-types, everybody's farming dead spaces, and there's pretty much a dump load on the market, and the prices are very low. Moving over to August, and that's pretty much it that we have so far. I'm guessing they will be adding more items for the next months after August, but so far the roadmap stops here. We've got an anniversary event, which is basically 1 year since launch. Arena mode in Encounter. Arena mode kind of points me to like fleet battles. So we might see arena mode like a fleet of players versus highly intelligent NPCs. At least that's why it's tied into the encounter. So I'm guessing it's going to be some sort of like what's going on in EVE Online right now with the Triglavian. You know, the Triglavians want to test pilots, so they set up an arena and they're fighting. And if you win, I don't know what you get. If you lose, I don't know what you get. I stopped playing EVE Online in 2016 when I abandoned PC gaming. So it's going to be an interesting thing. What's it going to be? And complete beginner experience. I'm guessing this is probably going to revamp the entire tutorials, and it's still question marks. It's full of question marks. Adding LP Arena and Secret Stores. Secret Stores. This is going to be interesting. LP, which is loyalty points, will probably get loyalty points based on something specific done in the game. We don't have factional warfare. We won't have factional warfare. It's none in here, but oh, by the way, arena mode in Encounter, this might be factional warfare, but it's going to most likely be fleet of players versus fleet of NPCs. So based on your outcome, you'll get some loyalty points, which you'll be able to use and get some decent items from a loyalty point store. So I'm guessing that's what the secret store means. And we're going to get capital ships. I don't know why the freighter is again here. I'm guessing this is going to be a jump freighter. Capital ships, dreadnoughts, no carriers yet. Capital ships equipment, capital ship skills, capital ship jump drives, cynosol fields. This is a technology that allows capital ships to jump light years away, ignoring jump gates. So capital ships with cynosol or the jump drive will be able to jump across systems, but they'll need some scout ahead to open up the beacon. That's the cynosol field generator. So basically we've analyzed the timeline, and we also did the developers Q&A. Now what is this tiny thin threads that I mentioned? Can you guys spot it? this tiny thread that I've been following, and I'm trying to understand why. It's been a question. I'm a software engineer, and I'm very analytical, and I usually everything seems like a mystery to me. Everything is just, I don't know. I have to see how it ticks, how it works. In the recent weeks, I've been analyzing this whole situation that we are in right now. Why is the game trying to evolve towards capital ships? Why are the developers not trying to handle as emergency response to the problems that are currently in the game, which is the drone problem, armor balancing versus shield problem, lack of content, player immersion? Why is the timeline so chaotic? It's basically the fact that, you know, all that free skill points that have been given out constantly, be it via the login system, via maintenance, via whatever the hell skill points have been given for free. Well, developers are currently between a rock and a hard place. On one hand, you have the player base that will reach tech level 10 pretty soon. We're about to hit tech level 9 in a couple of weeks. After that, it's all the way tech level 10. Which means the player base will be reaching the ceiling of the game. Well, let me tell you guys something, there's nothing else after that. On the other hand, you have the rest of the game areas that are suffering. We've got drones, we've got fitting, we've got major problems, armor being poop, we got lore missing, lore being completely ignored, by the way, wormholes, which are going to come, and also exploration we've seen on the timeline. As a studio, what would you pick? Raising the ceiling? Because people are going to reach that, and suddenly they will feel like, oh my god, I finished Eve. Do you try to service the service ceiling? Or do you try to service like the core problems that are currently plaguing the game? People didn't need free skill points. The game could have evolved naturally. Sure, we might be in cruisers even now, or at least, I don't know, just barely even getting to tech level 7, hit battle cruisers. Hey, that would have been good, and people would have still been fighting in cruisers and destroyers. By the way, I haven't seen any items on the timeline regarding destroyer. I hope it's in the balance one. So yeah, this is the hard truth. People are going to reach the end of the game next year because of the shitload of free skill points. You will be asking, well, yeah, there's been in EVE Online, people have been finishing the game for many years now. Sure, but let's take a look back then when EVE launched in 2003. Capital ships came after a few years. They weren't pushed like immediately, because after the game launched and people started, I don't know, progressing, there weren't so many tons of free XP or skill points given. So while players progressed naturally, the developers had room to expand in width, in a lateral area, to expand the lore, to add mechanics, to rethink the balance of the game, stuff like that. So basically, this forces the devs, people reaching the end of the game so soon, to raise the bar, instead of focusing on fixing the core problems of the game. You know, like balance issues, drones, armor being shitty, them giving too much free skill points. This, in my opinion, did not allow the developers a break from pushing the game upwards. Instead of expanding in, as I mentioned previously, in a lateral mode, and evolving the game and allowing the players to reach, I don't know, the end of the game naturally. And then, when players would have been close to that, pick up with the capital ships, pick up with other content in the ship tree, in the tech tree itself. Yeah, so without the free SP, they could have focused on expanding the game on width, not on height. Add lore, add strong mechanics for hauling, encounters, factional warfare. Plenty of lateral room to expand. And as I mentioned, now they are between a rock and a hard place. So, in my opinion, they picked going upwards, and the problems are still going to be there. But yeah, they did need to pick up on the ceiling and increasing the ceiling of the game. Otherwise, people reaching the end of the game would have felt, I don't know, pointless without a goal to continue playing. This is something a bit sad. This is a design mistake, a design flaw that was trying to appeal to the player base. Look, we got plenty of free skill points, you can level up so fast. This has caused a major problem that developers are forced to take a course of action in the detriment of fixing core problems that are in the game right now. What do you guys think? What's your opinion? Please leave a comment below. Also, remember to answer the community question of the week and participate to our weekly giveaway. 2 manga combos await 2 lucky winners. We'll be picking the winners on Wednesday. The community question of the week is drones. What do you think should be nerfed or improved about them? We've already racked up a bunch of comments that are spot on and really top notch, and everyone is invited to participate. I'll be compiling, just as usual, the comments and the feedback and send it to developers. Maybe we manage to spark something and help them understand that, well, some things in the game are just crappy and they need some magical touch. Thank you guys for watching. Give everybody a shout out to my channel supporters, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.